In a world where authors are writing books that have more words than pictures, a hero is born. Born solely from the loins of Babe the Blue Ox and Rhythm. Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure, Summertime Dropouts and 100 Things to Do with a Potato.
Okay, welcome to Isanti, Minnesota. We're here with Summertime Dropouts. We're doing a little bit of commentary, they're calling it, with the potato book, the potato book that they wrote. It's 100 Things to Do with a Potato, and we're going to go through them all. With all of the band members, they're all here in the room around me here, and we're going to go through them and talk about what's happening inside the book. Danny Knobloch is going to be the narrator. He's going to be saying what the potatoes are doing, and the rest of the guys are going to be describing what the potatoes are actually doing, and we're going to kind of help guide you through it in case you don't own the book, because then you can still get an idea what's happening, but in case you can't see it, you'll know what's going on. So we got some different sounds lined up for the people that if you need to know when the page is turning. Josh, why don't you show them when we need to turn the page. Josh, he's the guitar player in the band. He's gonna press this button. It'll show you when the page is turning. Josh, go ahead. Yeah, and then, okay, so that'll be when a normal page turns, and then anytime a real special page turns, he's going to press a different button that sounds a little different. Josh, why don't you show him what that one is? That's the real rock and roll page turner for you guys that know anything about the rock and roll music. But anyway, this is the Summertime Dropouts. We're going to get this thing underway. We got Danny reading the book, and the rest of the guys are going to be talking about it, telling you what's going on. Here you go, Danny, page number 1. Josh, why don't you hit that rock and roll one to get this thing, to get this thing started. Hit it, Josh.
Chapter 1. Take a bath with a potato.
Yeah, so what we got here in chapter 1 / page 1 is there is a young individual taking a bath with a if I'm looking at it correctly, is most likely a russet potato. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone agrees with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a red. I think we're going to be dealing with a russet throughout the majority of these 100 pictures.
Yeah, they're more commonly found in band situations. So
right. Yeah. Russets are bigger than reds, and they're better for baking
and easier to draw.
Easier to draw. There's bubbles. They seem to be enjoying themselves, so that's good. I think they're getting clean. Steve. Why would you imagine that a potato would want to be getting clean?
Well, I think it's mainly because they grow in the dirt. And I think a lot of what dirt has to do with being dirt is getting things dirty.
Good point.
Yeah. And as you can see, the young man in the picture that we see in front of us here probably had a little bit of dirt on his nose.
No, kids like to play in the dirt.
Yeah, well, the young man got a little aggressive in cleaning and apparently removed his nose from his face. So
his nose is missing.
His nose is missing.
That's a common thing for 6 to 9-year-olds.
But the potato, really supportive, went right along with it and got his nose off of his face.
Yeah, the potato has no nose either. Yeah. So
yep,
that's a good friend.
Yep,
backing up a friend.
That's a real spud there.
That's a real spud.
The best spud.
Right. Let's move on to page 2. That's going to be the page turning sound for everyone.
Chapter 2. Ride a Ferris wheel with a potato.
So as you can see in this picture...
we're dealing with a clean potato on this one.
Yeah, they're both clean at this point. Can we name the individual on the right here, the human? Can we name him? I think it'll be much easier to continue through this if he has a name.
Yeah.
Like a Sven?
Harold?
Mike... Johnson.
Prometheus.
Prometheus, did someone say?
I suggested that.
Might be a little too Greek.
Okay.
I think it's a simple name. I mean, his eyes are...
Alan?
Chaz.
His eyes are at the bottom third of his whole
He's
dome.
got a good forehead on him. An
got
Erickson forehead.
He's got an Erickson forehead on him.
Demarius Tech-Theratrix.
I think we can go with Demarius.
Demarius.
go
Good to
with
meet you,
Demarius.
Demarius.
Demarius is here holding hands with his potato. They are looking like they just finished a glorious ride on their Ferris wheel. It's not their Ferris wheel. It's most likely the carnival's Ferris wheel.
Which is apparently the worst carnival in the world because they only have a Ferris wheel.
Yeah, I mean, if the drawing was more detailed, maybe you'd catch like a wipeout or a scrambler in the background.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe a good ring toss, maybe.
Yeah.
Teacups.
Yeah.
Teacups, good.
What other good rides can you guys think? Pharaoh's Fury.
Zipper.
The Zipper.
The Zipper.
Yeah.
I think the Zipper is probably right behind there. It's just not showing up.
Yeah.
The Dragon Wagon.
Ooh, that's scary. That one's scary.
That is scary for a 4-year-old, Josh.
Demarius isn't ready for that one yet.
No.
Loser.
He's not tall enough.
That's the biggest ride Josh ever made it on was the Dragon Wagon.
Chapter 3. Hold a potato, holding a potato.
This is what we like to call the Inception page. Leonardo DiCaprio would probably be the most proud of this one. It's kind of like a dream within a dream. It is... what's our guy's name again?
Demarius.
Demarius. Demarius is holding a potato while his potato holds another potato.
His mind clearly looks blown from that. Hair standing on end.
Mm-hmm. And great dental hygiene.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Solid.
With the best of them.
Very, very lined up teeth.
Comparable to that of like a Ford F-150 grill.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure what's happening with our potatoes' hands and feet here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure either. I'm a little bit concerned that the potato that the potato is holding may not be alive because it does not have a face.
Yes. And it's hard to tell by the
too
picture whether or not the potato is being held against its will.
He looks slightly unsure.
It's not quite sure.
A little bit ambiguous, maybe ambivalent in its facial demeanor. But, it's there, and it's making the best of the situation.
And he's got good black shoes. Not the potato, the human.
And I like to see Demarius using a good posture when lifting. I like to point out how well he's... Completely straight, locking out the knees, lift with your back.
Lift with your
Lower
back.
back.
If you've ever read
Lower
through
back.
an OSHA manual, that is just page number 1.
I think the potato might be getting ready to throw the potato that's in his hand.
I mean, I would.
Not sure.
Which I think leads us to the
That
next.
was the page turn for that one, apparently. There it is.
There it is.
Found it.
Yep.
Chapter 4. Throw a potato.
This is ironic that that's the next one because
Yes, it is.
we were just speculating that on page number 3 or chapter number 3, as Danny would tell you, it is. This is a 100-chapter book.
A novel. It's a bit
It's
of
a
a
novel. Yeah, this is a novel.
But it's a light read.
You know what those guys that write books with words would call this? Foreshadowing.
Ooh.
foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing.
Floor shadowing?
Yeah,
Foreshadowing. I'm pretty sure that's how they pronounce it
They
at
pronounce it
Oxford.
foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we put this book online available for download, we actually listed it in tragic comedy.
Yeah.
As
Which
a
is
genre.
the obvious go-to once we finish the final page.
Right, you'll
this
get it.
has to be a tragic comedy. It speaks for itself.
Yeah, you'll get it when it's over. Much like the story of the Odyssey, where Odysseus,
Yeah.
does his thing. I won't wreck that story for you in case
I'd like to actually talk about the picture here.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Joey.
Go on.
Yeah.
I'd like to notice
Sorry, Joe.
Something new.
Our lead here, Demarius,
Protagonist.
there you go. It looks like he misplaced his right shoe and is rocking it barefoot.
Yes. You know who else did?
Thank goodness there's only that one patch of grass that he might hurt himself on.
Yeah, those are some thistles, star thistles.
It could be a bear trap.
It's not a bear trap, Steve.
Lightning bolts.
Steve.
Or maybe a potato fetus.
Potato fetuses aren't that sharp.
I don't know what
Fact.
potato fetuses you're hanging around, but I think they are plenty bright.
And I'm wondering, maybe the anger here is, well, his face isn't expressing so much anger, but I think maybe he's got a beet in his hand, and he thought it was a potato, but it's really a beet, so
Yeah.
he's tossing it. He's had it with this beet.
Well, if you'll
he was
notice,
tricked by the beet, and he thought it was a potato, but
Yeah.
really he's got to get rid of it. This is
Or maybe
it's
a
beet.
rutab-
This
or
isn't going to taste anything.
Could be a
potato.
rutabaga as well.
Yeah, it could be a
kumquat.
rutabaga as well.
the only potato
Right.
featured in this picture is an inanimate object. We don't have an actual living potato in this picture. So if we
Right.
dig deeper into the subplot of what's happening here, I think it's clear that we're seeing an issue of abandonment
Yeah,
being
I
felt
think-
and going through by
Yeah.
our protagonist, Demarius.
No,
As you're
think-
saying, it's becoming a real page turner.
Yeah. The plot
Right.
thickens. We're going to have more twists than an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I think we should write his name on his forehead because I can't remember Demarius. What's next, Danny?
Chapter 5. Go sledding with a potato.
Well, you see here right away, they're both wearing hats.
That's good.
They're
Matching
taking,
hats.
and they are taking steps to make sure that they are standing against the cold winter evenings of Minnesota.
Demarius is wearing a collared shirt. Which
And
is,
shorts.
Which is typically a warm setup.
And the potato is wearing a hat and no other article of clothing. Completely naked on a toboggan going down
Right,
a hill with a human.
Well, remember that tomatoes are cold-blooded.
That is true. I forgot about that. That is also another plot twist to throw into our narrative here.
Yeah, remember that's how potatoes operate. They're like reptiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They survive
Two-chambered heart.
cold and
Two-chambered
hot.
heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'd like to point out we got a little typo here. It's not a sled. It's a toboggan.
Yeah.
That is a toboggan.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a
So
little
is tobogganing a verb?
I don't, we'll go to the editor on that one.
toboggan.
Go toboggan.
Toboggan.
Yeah, that makes the most
Yeah.
sense.
When you say it like that, it just kind of rings,
right.
you know?
Yeah. They're obviously in a mountainous region, and there are 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 drops of snow
Good thing they got hats.
coming down, so it's good that they have hats.
Yep.
Again,
You can see how fast they're going by the lines coming off the backside of the toboggan there.
They're
no,
ripping
it's
down
a
that hill.
toboggan. No, it's a toboggan.
And they are toboggan.
They are toboggan.
Gotcha.
Right,
It's the
that's-
subtleties.
They're also crossing a highway. That's kind of the dangerous part of
Really stupid on their part.
They call it Suicide Hill, where
Yep.
where all the kids from the high school and the elementary school go toboggan. It crosses a highway at the bottom. So the craziest rush is trying not to get hit by an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
About 3 or 4 times a year, a couple kids die, and
Yep.
the occasional
or
potato.
Either that or you get mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
It's really just a benefit.
It's kind of a win-win. Yeah.
Right.
Also, if they have someone going through a tractor with like a hay rake, then you get hash browns.
There you go. Another plot twist.
A cream truck could spill some cream on it, and then you get like even better mashed potatoes.
Right.
This is also a cookbook.
Yes. 100 ways to prepare a potato.
Did you know that our only rival for this book is another book on Amazon titled
101 things.
What, Josh? Why don't you tell me the title?
I was checking out Amazon.com. 101 things to do with a potato.
Oh.
But it's a cookbook.
It's just a cookbook.
It's nothing even remotely
There's
close
no
to our
pictures
book.
in it.
Yeah.
They probably don't even have their own commentary for it.
Probably not.
Probably don't have their own picture of Suicide Hill being bombed by a human and a potato together.
Yeah, by Potato and Demetrius.
Demetrius. Demarius.
Demarius.
I want to change his name. This is getting difficult.
You can't
to
change it
remember.
now.
Can we please
You're
change it
only
now?
going to confuse
Band
everyone
vote.
else.
Band vote.
Ben, I want to change his name.
Okay. Anyone else want to change his name? I came up with it, but I'd be okay. It could be another plot twist.
Plot
yes.
twist.
We're
Plot
actually
twist.
writing in
Yes.
another plot twist.
I'm almost crazy enough to suggest we name him Plot Twist.
How about just Spud?
The boy's
That's
name
gonna.
is
I'm
boys
gonna
is-
confuse him with his
boy
friend.
is
Spud and his friend
Anakin?
Potato.
Can we name him Anakin?
Yes, Anakin and Spud.
Anakin and
Ooh,
Spud.
okay.
The potato
Good
has a
plot
name now,
twist.
too?
Yep.
Anakin and Spud. I can remember that.
All right.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
95 left.
Chapter 6. Make a clock with a potato.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock rock.
5, 6, 7, 8 clock.
Well, as we see in this photo here, portrait drawing.
Surprised you didn't miss any numbers, Steve.
I went to public school. I'm pretty sharp.
Good for
Looks
you.
like the potato is quite proud of his work.
I've dropped out of college
Yet,
3 times.
Anakin Spudwalker
Anakin Spudwalker.
has obviously damaged his clock.
Or he's in the process of fixing it. It's kind of, how
No,
optimistic
I
you
think-
want to be
I
at this
think the
point in our
potato
narrative.
is trying to show off his work.
Yeah, it's looking like
to Spud.
Anakin's clock is reading about 5, or it's kind of a stupid looking
Really dumb. Really dumb rig he's
hour
got
hand.
there. Yeah.
It's either 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock on the dot.
Whoa.
En punto, for any Spanish speakers out there.
If you're able to zoom in on that clock, can we get a shot of that? Enhance. For those of you that obviously cannot see this at home, there's an arrow falling.
Hold on, yeah.
We have a pointer
yeah.
falling out of the clock.
My computer programmer brother would call that movie OS.
Ooh.
You can just we would just zoom right in on the clock, whereas Anakin's clock is it's upside down, but it seems to be reading 4-ish.
The numbers are right side up.
There, so it looks
But the
like
clock is upside
it looks
down.
like the arrow has broken off of his clock and is now
The arrow has
traveling
landed.
towards his left foot.
Yeah.
I think this picture really brings a sense of tension into our story at this point, where you see Spud carrying a sense of optimism. His clock is working, and he has done a great amount of work to bring that clock to that point. And you see Demarius kind of, on the downslide. I think we're really reaching the point of, our great moment of tension within our story.
Right.
So,
Their friendship is going to be tested on a whole new level.
yeah.
I think the potato's feet might just be like wheels.
They're
I think they're actually music notes.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And
Oh,
his
yeah.
legs are going into his body. Really just looks like a painful thing to have to go through, to have legs shoved into your body against your will.
His legs and his arms actually look like they're universal. Mm-hmm. You can have arm legs or leg arms.
But really, when you have a potato for a friend,
What more do you need?
yep.
We're still in the
can't get
same one,
picky.
huh?
Yeah, thanks for sticking with us through thick and thin there,
Look,
Dave.
I needed to leave
A
because
shining example of commitment there.
my nose was
bud.
bothering me. It is
Okay.
23 below here. Yeah, listen to these. Hey, hold on. It's 23 below, right, kids? Yeah, exactly. Do you hate this cold weather in Isanti? Exactly. Tell me what you think about cold weather. Shoot, I was hoping for a boo. That was close to a boo.
They were
that
getting-
was a boo with an M. That was a moo. That was my neighbor's cows waking me up.
They're longhorns over there.
They have horns, and I would not fight with them.
Chapter 7. Eat a potato.
Ooh,
Yeah, now you see the
Good
tension
start.
really coming to fruition in
Yeah,
our
this
storyline
is-
here.
Right out the gates.
You see Spud is left with just a situation of dichotomy, really, of does he eat his own flesh
Is
in this
Anakin
situation?
going to eat his friend, Spud?
His tongue is out. You see a sense of anticipation in his eyes.
He's wearing a bib, which normally.
Indicates that he's done this before, really.
Yeah, normally little kids wear bibs.
Yeah.
Keep those sound effects going. I'm enjoying this. No, seriously, keep them rocking.
Apparently, Spud needs 2 pieces of silverware to consume his potato.
Yeah. Dare I say, Spuds almost looks like a pear that he's about to partake of.
Or maybe the nose that fell off of him in the bathtub.
Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily say.
Neither one of them has a nose.
Right.
No.
It's not eat a potato with a potato. It's just eat a potato.
Yeah.
So plot twist.
So
again.
maybe
We're just throwing them
Demarius
all over
tricked Spud into...
Anakin.
His name's Anakin.
Maybe
Steve.
Anakin tricked Spud into eating a pear when really his intention was all along to eat Spud. What?
Or maybe Anakin baked 2 small red potatoes.
A red
And we're about to eat them.
The suspense is killing me.
Yeah, they probably just a couple pear potatoes.
Pear potatoes there.
They ate the pear
a
potatoes.
pear potato.
They both got a fork and a knife, probably plastic, safer.
Or, yeah. Cheaper.
Anakin's got his tongue out. He's probably concentrating. He's thinking about what's happening next. And that's probably it for that slide.
Chapter 8. Don't eat a potato.
We call that a plot twist.
That's
twist.
a plot twist.
Again.
We could teach an English course.
Or a Spanish
We
course.
actually we taught a college course.
For those who want to play beanbags with us, we'll take you to school any day of the week. But back to Anakin.
Yeah.
Demarius Spud.
chapter number 8 in our 100-chapter novel.
Don't get
Is
discouraged
Anakin
yet.
wearing a button-down shirt under that bib?
Might
He
be.
is.
Yeah, he looks like he's setting himself up for a real classy dinner.
Either he's wearing a strange button-down shirt, or he has 3 nipples very close to the top of his neck.
Or recently took 3 bullet wounds to the chest.
Open heart surgery, perhaps, because all of his potato eating.
Or he just came across the Kali Ma guy from Indiana Jones, trying to rip his heart out. Kali Ma.
He seems to be eating the same potatoes as from
He seems
the
to
previous
not.
scene.
He seems
Or
to
is
not
he
be,
not eating them, David?
That's more accurate.
as the
Correct.
chapter suggests.
As the chapter suggests.
Read between the lines.
Chapter 9. Kiss a potato and like it.
Well, you see here, the potato doesn't really like it from the get-go.
Nah,
You got
maybe
a
little
real sad face on that potato right now.
He is wearing his Sunday shoes.
bit. Anakin has all of a sudden a very pronounced pair of lips.
Yes, we've never seen this from him before at this point in the story.
And also a bow tie.
And kind of a mullet going on.
Ooh,
A little bit of a mullet.
little bit of a mullet bow
Yeah.
tie combo.
Anakin really brought it for this potato date.
He's on his knees. He may or may not be proposing.
Yep. And they look more like broadhead arrows than hearts, but they're there. And maybe that's more of a metaphor for the aim that Anakin has on Spud's heart.
Or it may be a metaphor for the sharpness
Yeah.
of the, and the dangerousness
Yes.
of their love.
And how acute their passion is for one
broadhead
another.
arrows, sharpness, broadness.
Yep.
What did you say? Acuteness?
Acuteness, yes.
That
As
is
opposed to obtuse.
Yes. Obtuse being a term made famous by the movie Shawshank Redemption.
That's true. That is true. Andy Dufresne got in a lot of trouble for calling the warden obtuse.
He called the warden obtuse, and after that,
He learned his lesson.
Into solitary confinement you go, and then you're going to have to climb through a 1/4 mile of poop.
he got out.
He did.
He did.
Will our character get out?
You deserve
Through
to get
the
out.
1/4 mile long sewer drain of love?
Yeah,
The
who
1/4
knows?
mile long sewer drain that is this book.
I mean,
We'll
with
find out.
a pair of lips like this, you could get out of anything.
Yeah. Looks like yeah.
Chapter 10. Jump rope with a potato.
Well, Anakin's head went through some...
Yeah, let's just move on to chapter 11,
Moving on.
Danny. Here we go.
Yep.
Chapter 11. Do homework with a potato.
Again with the tongue.
The tongue's out again in
tongue's
chapter
out.
11. He's either concentrating or thinking about his mom's roast beef dinner.
Or eating that potato again. That potato pear.
That potato pear.
Pear potato.
It is 3 o'clock on the dot, and punto in Spanish He is reading his H period work.
I don't know who sold him that book, but he got swindled.
I remember all the classes that I had I had Spanish, I had geography, history, math, trigonometry, science, and H work.
And H work. Does it mean hard work or homework?
It means both.
Okay, cool.
It's both.
In this one also, the potato seemed to have removed his arms and
This is
legs.
true.
Oh, I
This is
noticed
true.
that.
This
Yeah.
is true. And a very astute observation, Joshua. And the comb over came back.
Good
He
job.
went from the mullet to the comb over.
He's got the comb over.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I like it. It looks good.
I don't know where his shoulders went. He just kind of has a neck disappearing into something of just a wicked collar
It is
going on in that
amazing
shirt.
that tiny neck supports that giant dome mounted on top of the neck. Mm-hmm. The tongue itself might tip the head over. It's amazing that
Yep.
tiny little pencil holds up that basketball of a dome.
And you know, for as hard as he's working with that Michael Jordan tongue hanging out, there's not a single word written on the page.
Wow.
I think he is trying to hustle that potato into
Right.
thinking that he's actually putting some effort into the evening's
The
agenda.
potato seems very pleased.
Yes, I think if this potato was in chapter 9, they both would have liked the kiss.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potato
Yeah.
is looking very passionate.
Absolutely.
He's been disarmed by love.
I can't read it. I'm loading.
I'll read
Oh.
it.
Hold on.
I'll read it. Here we go. Hold on.
Rock and roll.
Hit that one again, and then Joe, I want you to say rock and roll for anyone I ever do.
Rock and roll.
Go on a romantic stroll with a potato.
And again, Anakin changed up his hair. He is obviously very insecure about how he looks.
Maybe we're actually looking at the front of him in this
Yeah.
picture. Could be. He actually grew some kind of a wicked beard,
That is a wicked beard. Chewbacca.
a face beard.
Yep.
He has no eyes.
One thing I'd like to point out perhaps about the potato is that it has a pretty sharp angle in its left hip.
Yeah. Yeah. Perhaps when someone was digging him out of the ground, they put the shovel blade into his hip and made a nice clean cut on the bottom portion of his body.
Could be. There is an obviously African American dolphin
Yep.
also flying through the Stratus.
Stratus.
Stratus. I like to say Stratus. It sounds.
I drive a
little
Dodge
more-
Stratus.
It sounds more scientific. Mm-hmm. There's multiple pronunciations.
The stratosphere.
No,
Stratosphere.
not along
the
those.
straightest.
No.
It is the straightest fear.
That's
Excuse
elementary, Watson.
Beautiful dolphin.
Gorgeous.
Just flying through the core of the sun.
It seems to be
ultimately.
missing
Yeah.
its pectoral fins,
Does seem to be missing
though
those.
dorsal is perfectly intact.
Have we stopped to consider that the sun could just be crying and that isn't a dolphin at all, but a misshapen mouth?
That
That's
is
the
stupid.
stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That is stupid.
Steve,
Someone hit the button that makes Danny read.
Chapter 13. Dress up a potato.
Well, there's not much going on here. Let's move on.
Rock and roll.
Chapter 14. Meet the president with a potato.
Apparently, the president's interior decorator didn't know how to spell president, so they just kind of cut it off after PRES.
No, they put a period there. It's an abbreviation.
Oh,
like when you're sending a text and you don't know how to spell a word, so you just completely avoid it at all costs
Yeah.
to
Or-
keep yourself from looking stupid.
Yep. Or if he's trying to keep that cool edge with the kids, like, yeah, I'm the prez.
I'd like to also point out here that our potato has definitely gained weight.
And his legs and arms have gotten much shorter.
If
He
you've
is
noticed
a
from
bottom. He is a bottom-heavy potato
That
at
is
this point.
This is true. You know what Sir Mix-a-Lot would have to say about this potato?
What would Sir Mix-a-Lot have to
He
say about this
likes
potato?
big bottoms, and he cannot lie.
Chapter 15. Make it rain in the club with a potato.
Make it rain, 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 make it rain.
It's also that's our hit single. It'll be on the new album.
Getting really experimental with really, really terrible hip hop.
Is this over yet? Can we shut that off? Oh, thank goodness.
Chapter 16. Play hot potato with a potato.
Saturated. Saturated in irony.
Very starchy. Lots of potatoes here.
Which
Kind of
neither
a
of our
combo.
characters have knees.
Boy, we're just burning through them.
Chapter 17. Use a compass with a potato.
That is too large of a compass. That will not fit into your pack.
That compass is the size of a personal pizza.
Wow.
Maybe more. Mm-hmm. Maybe a medium pizza to be shared between friends.
Rock and roll.
Chapter 18. Disco with a potato.
Yeah, Saturday Night
Yeah,
Fever.
we're back in chapter 18. Our potato has obviously stopped visiting his local LA Fitness.
And Anakin has been hanging out with David Blaine and has figured out how to levitate.
I'm not sure if that's a disco ball or a beehive.
Those could be bees. Those could be bees.
Those little stars.
Yep.
The lines coming out of it are, it's honey.
You ever see that scene from My Girl? Macaulay Culkin dies from bees.
Oh, yes, absolutely I've seen that scene. I apologize. I have seen that scene. Yeah, I apologize.
Real page turner.
Boy, missing that reference.
Chapter 19. Find gold with a potato.
They found some stuff that's worth a bunch of cash, and it's looking like they're both going to be rich.
I like the smug look on the potato here.
Yeah.
He did not do a lick of work. He stands on the back of his humble employee and servant.
I think what happened is that the potato found the gold. That's my theory. Kids, what do you think? Is that right? Yeah, exactly. I think
Good
that's
captive
what, I think
audience.
that's what really happened.
Literally captive.
We'd like to thank Mrs. Larson's third grade class for attending here today.
Thank you, Mrs. Larson, for getting your class to come here. We will continue to feed your kids cookies and methamphetamine.
And a sense of work ethic.
Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate.
Smokes will be handed out outside.
We're gonna have smokes later.
Rock and roll.
Chapter 20. Have a pet potato.
Stupid.
What happened to Anakin?
Not too happy about this photo,
What?
everyone.
And apparently the potato
has
has given
no
birth to a
hands.
smaller potato and has yet to cut the umbilical cord.
The potato has given birth and is holding on to his baby potato, male or female, who knows, by the umbilical
Potato.
cord.
I believe is what you call it, baby.
Potato.
A potato.
Potato.
A potato.
I'm an etymologist.
A potato's son or daughter is titled a
potato.
potato.
When they travel in groups, they're
Potato.
referred to as murders of potato.
He always looks on the
is
sunny
tiny.
side. Wow. Just it's
Small-
like those Russian nesting dolls.
Small potatoes.
Can anyone else figure out how those tiny spindle legs are holding up that giant overweight tater on the left? Weight Watchers.
Chapter 21. Commit a felony with a potato.
This is one of my favorites. I guess loitering is a felony now. What's actually happening is this kind of a precursor to what's really about to happen. The sign says no loitering, but what these two are about to do is just beyond loitering.
Yeah.
Littering.
They have hijacked an entire family, stolen their car, and have hidden them in the trunk and are eating ice cream on top of said trunk. But it was a family of potatoes, so they can't really be pressed for
No,
charges.
they can. It was a family of human potatoes.
Or a
They-
murder of potato,
It was
as
a-
some call it.
It was a murder of potato.
Chapter 22. Play hide and go seek with a potato.
That's a terrible hiding spot. He's only got one arm, and he's scratching it.
No,
He is
he's got
scratching his
two
Wondering where his
bald-
other arm is.
Oh, the potato has one arm.
Yeah, potato has one arm. Confused his arm right off his
Maybe-
body.
His arm was confused clean off.
It said, "I'm out of here.
It said, whoa, boy, I
You're
can't.
left on your own, rest of the body, to figure this one
no,
out."
get a load of this. You're left on your own.
Oh!
Danny, read number 22 again.
Chapter 23. Build a gun with a potato.
Could this be related to that felony? they have committed. They're trying to arm themselves now.
They're strategizing. They're getting desperate.
I'm really not sure why you would use a hammer to build a gun.
Well, it's a hammer gun. It shoots hammers.
This
What is more frightening than a shotgun?
It's
that
looking.
shoots
It's
hammers?
looking a lot like me. It's looking a lot to me like a shotgun.
I see another Michael Jordan tongue hanging out.
He's concentrating, and the potato seems to be not concentrating, which means he's done this thousands of times before. Building a shotgun is no new thing to Spud.
Rock and roll.
Chapter 24. Pet a cat with a potato.
First of all, this is completely unrealistic.
Yeah.
No one involved in this story would have anything to do with a cat.
Potatoes don't even have arms.
Chapter 25. Rob a bank with a potato.
Okay, so now they've made the gun. They've made the gun.
They have the getaway car from the
They have the
loitering.
getaway car.
But no arms.
See, but no
How's
arms.
this gonna work?
Dave, you are such a skeptic.
They're not very good. They're leaving a lot of money behind.
Yeah, sloppy. It's a sloppy job.
I mean, I'm not gonna claim they don't have legs. I know potatoes have legs.
And I would like to comment on the lack
In
of
Create-i.
creativity
There you
In
go.
Create-i.
put into in Create-i
That's not a word
involved in
Nope.
the bank's efforts to come up with a name for itself. Yeah,
Some
a bunch of jerks just got
idiot.
into a room, sat around a table, and said, "What are we going to call our bank?" I don't know, bank.
What should we name this place that lends money to people and collects interest on things? Oh, bank?
I don't know, but our doors are going to be as wide as the building, and we can see that
Oh, it's actually called.
Gary actually stole Kesha's S and wrote it on the side of his bag.
That's Kesha's money, and he's dropped a little for the gleaners.
Chapter 26. Play doctor with a potato.
That's a used needle.
He is holding a used needle for an injection.
Well,
Has
the
a
potato's got a bad case of spuds.
The potato's got the spuds, and he's also wearing a headlamp because the light has went out. He's wearing a stethoscope, but will have no use for it because he has no fingers.
And a
on his
potato
left
doesn't
hand.
even have a heartbeat, so
Yeah.
I don't know what he's listening for.
Chapter 27. Go streaking with a potato.
Spud has been flayed alive.
I think
Plot twist.
Spud
Plot twist.
is dead. Hit the rock and roll one. I want to introduce the next thing. Eat French fries with a potato. This picture's really complex.
A lot going on here.
Cannibalism again.
Why
at-
don't you
at
guys tell
play.
me about it?
As you can see, this time the potato he's got kind of a grimace, I'd say. Those fries are freaking hot.
Piping hot. And you know what's hotter? His sense of betrayal to his common man. Or as some would call it, a commentator.
Let's just pause and take a moment to evaluate that fantastic sentence. Tater means potato. That's why it's funny. Tater and potato are like the same.
Get the fat out of your ears.
Chapter 29. Have a slumber party with a potato.
I believe the potato is actually using a sack of potatoes as his pillow. And why do their beds still have pillows on them when they obviously have their pillows in their
Auxiliary
hands?
pillows,
They
Joe.
each had two, Joe.
And they borrowed Lucy and Ricky Ricardo's beds for this.
That means I get to say the next thing. Take a pole dancing lesson with a potato.
Now, when you first read that sentence, what do you think? What are you thinking
You're
of?
thinking dirty,
Dirty
garbage,
Potatoes.
Garbage.
I'm thinking dirty
You're
potatoes.
thinking dirty garbage pole dancing. But,
But
here at
where are we
Summertime
at?
Dropouts,
Where are we at?
we are about cleanliness.
Yes.
We are about
Patriotism.
we love
patriotism.
Humans and
South
potatoes with an
America.
impeccable sense of balance.
Hey, okay, the first two states of America that you can think of.
Freedom and liberty.
the state of freedom.
You got freedom and liberty. We're not leaving this, Danny. Don't even open your mouth.
I'll
We are
it.
Josh, stop it.
Quit queuing. See,
are
our
talking-
readers are jumping pages ahead now.
This is about pole dancing, and we're gonna finish this.
They're missing valuable pages here.
What would Samuel L. Jackson say?
Get these snakes off this plane.
That's what he'd say. Anyway, number 30 is called Take a Pole Dancing Lesson with a Potato, and the potato and the human are pole dancing, but not in a dirty way. They are pole dancing like classy Americans should pole dance, and they're just dancing together, having a good time.
Chapter 31. Go potato farming with a potato.
It kind of feels like a slave trade situation here.
It's a bit cannibalistic.
Once again,
From the potato standpoint.
the plot thickens. The
Gary's not
really,
afraid to get his knees dirty.
The potato really doesn't like to do any work, does he? We saw that. We're learning more about his character traits here.
Well, he's huge.
And you never know when he's going to have arms. That
He's
kind of puts a
giant.
damper on a person's work ethic.
The guy can barely move.
He's always got that smug look on his face.
Completely overweight and giant.
I'd get him on a low-carb diet.
He's riding in the wheelchair.
Chapter 32. Play soccer with a potato.
Oh, all of a sudden our potato is pretty fit.
It's got a soccer ball for a
Surprise,
foot.
surprise. A perfect soccer ball foot.
What do you know? How convenient for a guy trying to play a soccer
How
game.
convenient for page 32
Oh,
of this.
look, no one can get the ball away from the potato
stupid
because it's his
book.
foot.
It's his foot. He's got a foot for a soccer ball.
Football.
Stupid
It's got a
soccer ball foot.
football.
Chapter 33.
Chapter 33.
Sing with a potato.
Sing with a potato. I said it better.
The potato has definitely gained his weight back from the last picture.
Yeah.
Who said it better, though, for
It's
the
like-
intro? For the intro.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, sorry.
I'd rather not.
I apologize for my competitive.
Boy,
kinda
Gary's head is going through some seasons of change.
Sorry for my competitiveness. Boy,
A
is he
season.
fat again.
I'd like to echo that, Steve.
Chapter 34. Play Mr. Potato Head with a potato.
How do you possibly play Mr. Potato Head?
I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Is there a purpose?
No, I'm just going to the bathroom.
Just gonna hang out. He just needs to rest.
The potato appears to have a Salvador Dali mustache. For all you-
And oddly enough, Mr. Potato Head is the only one with a nose in the picture.
he's the first. That's the first nose we've
That's the
seen all
first
book.
nose. We haven't decided if those were pears, potatoes, or noses on the plates earlier.
Page Turner.
Chapter 35. Go on a double date with a potato.
Well, isn't that nice? We're given a bow and some eyelashes to figure out which one of the potatoes is a lady. Lady potato.
We finally identified the sex of our potato.
Yeah, it's been made clear by this slide alone.
It's a boy?
I would say, and they are eating lunch in purgatory. Don't ask what the special is for the day, because they're not going to tell you. It's not good, it's not bad.
It's just kind of there.
Purgatory.
Chapter 36. Cheat on a potato with a tomato.
That is the sorriest looking tomato I've ever seen in my life.
I was thinking it was like a miniature version of the moon with a happy face and arms and legs.
And the spongiest of all the vegetables has the sturdiest legs. Oh, welcome back, Dave.
Oh, Dave.
Look at that stupid mohawk tomato. That is the dumbest thing I've ever... It's got a bow and it's a mohawk. I would not touch that gross individual.
I'm writing my senator.
It's got 3 giant pimples to the left of its forehead. The one looks like the sun, and the 2 next to it are like Jupiter and Neptune.
I would like to note that we've had our second nose appear in the book.
Chapter 37.
Anger.
Have a garage sale with a potato.
This garage sale's cleaned out, ladies and gentlemen.
Move on.
All they got's a lamp, 2 dresses, a garage sale sign, 3 balloons, a TV, a soccer ball, and a picture.
Chapter 38. Play truth or dare with a potato.
Oh,
Who
this
hasn't been
guy.
there?
This guy.
Chapter 39. Make arts and crafts with a potato.
What's our human character's name at this point in the story?
Gary
Let's skip-
Anderson.
It's Gary.
Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson seems to be holding some sort of fold-out chainsaw.
Do you think the potato would cut little miniature potato people?
I
for a
think you
change?
could cut that potato into 1,000 million smaller potatoes.
Or
Which
some
are
breakfast potatoes.
Called French fries.
Yeah,
Or hash browns.
Yeah, hash browns.
Chapter 40.
We're really moving along.
Go rock climbing with a potato.
These boys are adventurous, guys.
This is awful. They're not wearing the right harnesses.
I think that might just be underwear.
They have tied themselves off on these rocks to the point where if they fell off, they would hit the ground before the rope they tied to
Yeah.
themselves caught
Yeah.
them.
Kind of looks like the same rock
It's like
they
that
found
movie,
gold in, though.
127 Hours.
Chapter 41. Peel a potato, then call the cops on it for indecent exposure.
This is one of my favorites.
Do you think potatoes have nipples?
I think they have many nipples.
I think they have a lot to offer.
I would say they have 3 to 12 minimum.
Do you know what the plural for nipples is?
Nippi. It's gotta be nippi.
Teats. It's actually teats.
No, it's gotta be
no,
nippi.
it's nipplin.
Nipples, nippi.
That phone doesn't have a cord. I'm calling his bluff.
No. We're not leaving this. Someone, is there a back sound? Is there
Chapter
a go back
42.
sound? Find a go back sound. We're going back to this. Click the go back
Ride
sound.
a tandem bike with a potato.
Danny, quiet down, Danny.
Well, you see here we have a human
Danny's
and
from
a potato on
from
a
the
bicycle.
Hunger Games.
And
He's in line with
they're
President
riding
Snow.
the bicycle
Danny's in line with President
gallantly
Snow
as friends.
and they are trying
and
to.
the potato
take
took the lead and
over
he said, you know what, human,
the world.
you just sit back
They
and
won't
you
let
let me
Katniss
steer.
do what she's
I'm
doing.
going to bring this bicycle to the
Steve's
place
trying
where
to
we need
distract
to go.
everything. It's getting
we
terrible.
are in this together. You sit back.
They're gonna
I'm
bomb
taking
District
the lead.
12. District 12
and
is gonna be
I am having a
underwater
blast, even though I'm not going to
soon,
smile.
and Steve's just
I'm
trying
not
to
going to smile in
distract you.
chapter 42 of the page that we're on.
Get rid of it.
Chapter 43.
Shut up.
Chapter 43. Take selfies with a potato.
Stupid.
Camera sucks.
Why are they
Stupid.
videotaping their selfies?
Stupid.
Chapter 44. Make a scrapbook with a potato.
I wonder if you could take the potato book and make a scrapbook out of the potato book.
That's
It's like
thinking outside the free box.
it's kind of like the Inception idea.
Good
It's
thought.
a book. It's a book within a book.
Again with a smug look on the potato.
He is a smug son of a gun.
Someone needs to knock him down a peg.
Chapter 45. Go clothes shopping and complain about how fat you look to a potato.
That was decent.
That was better. That was better that
A little
time.
bit better than the horrible thing you started
Better
with.
than the store that they went to. The clearance rack is full of half shirts. All right. This is the part of the book reading where we'd like everyone to be able to get up and stretch around. We're really sleepy, so we're going to take a quick nap and we're going to be back at it. You stay classy. Shut up, Danny.
We're back. We tried to do this last night, but then we looked at the clock and it was 4:30 in the morning and everyone was dying of exhaustion.
The spirit was willing, but the flesh wanted to go to bed really
The
bad.
flesh needed sleep. Let's kick it off where we left off, Daniel.
Chapter 46. Decorate a Christmas tree with a potato.
What's your first thought when you look at this picture, Dave?
Well, there's a Christmas tree. He's wearing a bow. He's wearing some decorative balls, and he's got a giant face and a giant smile.
Yeah.
And he's got a warm blanket wrapped around his root system
Yeah. A tree
That's-
diaper of sorts.
in case he has one of those tree accidents.
We've all seen it happen.
They're sticky like sap.
Yep.
Kind of makes pine sol. I believe it's where that comes from.
Yeah, that's what. Yep. You can clean your house with that. It's pretty good. It looks like an anime tree when you think about it. Looks like something that you could have a seizure looking at it for too long. You know.
What do you think the potato's thinking here?
I bet he feels pretty left out. He looks pretty sad, and apparently, whatever his name is, human that we have settled on a name for, Gary Anderson,
Gary Anderson.
has found a new friend and has no intention of going back to, what was the potato's name? Spud? I'm going to call him Tim.
Chapter 47. Go to a monster truck rally with a potato.
Well, here Tim and Spud are at a monster truck rally.
Back to the no arms the game.
The truck has huge wheels and it's crushing cars.
I'd like to take a moment here to go and around the room and see what everyone's monster truck name would be.
I'd do Sharknado, and that would be my monster truck name. Sharknado. It's terrifying. It's awesome.
Dave, how about you?
I was hoping I wouldn't be next.
I'll go first. Widow Blaster. All right, Danny.
I just narrate.
This means I get to say it. Shove a potato into a tailpipe.
Shove a potato in your tailpipe.
Me again. Use a potato as a decoy to commit a dine and dash. This potato is tricking our French waiter.
He has elbows now. A couple slides ago, he didn't have any arms. Now he has elbows.
They only ordered
A full roasted
a
chicken.
full roasted chicken.
Who doesn't do that when they go to a restaurant?
Yeah, I'll take your roasted chicken. You want any water? Nope.
Chapter 50. Watch TV and be a couch potato with a potato.
What do you think they're watching?
Probably watching.
Starchy and Husk?
That's it.
Starchy and husk.
That's definitely what they're watching.
Chapter 51. Build a hovercraft with a potato.
All you need's that hammer.
All you need is a hammer to build a hovercraft.
And a friend.
A hammer and a friend.
A hammer, a friend, and a good work ethic and a positive attitude.
And a health insurance plan.
Chapter 52. Adopt a pet with a potato.
That dog's being
It
strangled.
looks like the leash is a little tight. I think that's based on where it's looking like it's attached on the dog. If it was underneath his neck, it'd look like it was just hanging.
Yeah, I think Anakin needs to heed the words of 38 Special here and hold on loosely.
Didn't you rename him Tim?
Yeah, no, the potato is Tim.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I goofed that up then. I thought
Yeah.
you renamed Anakin Gary Tim.
No, he's not just any commentator.
Okay. I thought the potato's name was Spud. Oh, shoot. Hit that sound again. Glue googly eyes on a tater.
Tighter.
Chapter 54. Poop in a bag, light it on fire, and put it on your enemy's doorstep with a potato.
It sounded like Morgan Freeman right there.
Yeah.
The
Why-
March of the Penguins 2 has a new gun, and its name is Danny Chuck Knobloch.
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 Noodler. Why is the house on stilts?
Why would it not be?
Is the potato,
house is on
the potato
stilts.
urinating in the bushes?
Maybe it's a Cajun house and they're in a swamp. You ever think of that, Joe?
Does anyone else see the stilts on the house? Please tell me you see the stilts.
You just look at the sidewalk, pretend like those are the house's legs and it's walking.
It's pretty interpretive.
So abstract.
Yeah. Kind of a Picasso-esque house.
Chapter 55. Clip coupons with a potato.
Let's move on. Potato sack race with a potato.
Oh, that's just inappropriate.
Did the person confuse this with a one-legged race where you tie your legs together? Are they both?
A three-legged race.
Yeah.
Why are they in this? There's only one gunny sack.
Yeah. They ran short potato famine.
This is a new twist on things.
This is a three-legged potato sack race.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid event.
Chapter 57. Discover a new aquatic species with a potato.
That fish sucks.
This sucks. Plant a potato to make more potatoes.
Gotta spend money to make money.
Chapter 59. Play tug-of-war against a potato.
We got no elbows, but we got one knee.
Well, hang on a second. Name of the book is 100 Things to Do with a Potato.
Oh.
It's wrong. The name of the book is wrong. It should be 99 Things to Do with a Potato and 1 Thing to Do against a Potato. Plot twist.
Somebody call Amazon.
We got to get this changed.
We got to get this fixed.
Pull it off the
We gotta
press.
Stop the press.
Pull it off the web.
Chapter 60. Get baked with a potato.
Now, what did you think of when he first said that sentence?
I would have thought of some sort of drug reference, but
Yeah.
again,
But summertime
Keeping
dropouts,
it
what do
clean?
we do? We keep it clean, we keep it classy, we keep it family friendly.
family friendly, lots of smiles, lots of good times,
Lots of laughs.
high fives.
Lots of laughs, a lot of high
Friendship time.
fives, a lot of good optimism.
These guys are just tanning at the local beach, and you can see that they're hot.
And the potato is tanning his eyeballs. Mm-hmm. Just staring down that sun.
No, it's cool. I watched him put sunscreen in those.
An entire bottle in each ball.
Ride a mechanical bull with a potato.
Who hasn't been there?
Apparently, they didn't pick a very high difficulty setting if they can both ride at the same time and wave at the camera.
Smiling at the camera. A little bit of hiccup on Josh's end there.
Josh,
Nice
you're
work.
fired.
Chapter 62. Cook with a potato and your friend Jesse.
I have a friend named Jesse.
I'm just going to be flat out honest. I don't get the reference here.
It's from a TV show.
It's a TV show, Dave.
Who's Jesse?
Jesse Pinkman. Breaking Bad.
Chapter
Breaking
63.
Benjamin.
Got it.
Sword fight with a potato.
Danny, that
was
was
not mine.
That was mine, Danny.
That was Dave's.
You scabbing on me?
No, I want Danny to say it, to think about what he's done. I'm not saying it.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Josh.
Sword fight with a potato. I gave in. I'm going to be a horrible father.
You caved in. You caved in.
Just going to let my kids do anything.
Even sword fight with
I'm going to even let them
potatoes.
sword fight. Those are pretty sharp looking.
Yeah.
And I don't mean sharp in like oh, those look nice.
Oh, yeah.
I mean like they are pointy.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Right, I wouldn't want to
That'll
confuse
take an eye
anyone.
right out. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's how the potato keeps from looking like a Medusa.
Yeah.
Because they take his eyes out. You know, not literal, like, face eyes, but, you know, potato eyes.
Maybe it's the reason Gary also doesn't have a nose.
No,
was
he
gone.
scrubbed it off in Chapter 1.
That was gone long ago.
Yeah.
Page 1.
Got it.
Plot twist right from the start.
Chapter 64. Put some bacon in a potato.
Little known fact, every potato has a secret bacon compartment.
And if you dig deep enough, there's usually a sign with an arrow pointing up,
Yeah.
instructing
Held in by 4
you
screws.
instructing you where to deposit your bacon. Go through a car wash with a potato.
Princess Leia style.
Fun story, I got a dually diesel truck stuck in a car wash one time. I got it out with sheer grit and willpower.
Yeah.
And
American
in the
work ethic.
meantime, the owner of the car wash had showed up and was swearing me out as I was working my butt off trying to get this truck out. I did it
Nice.
all myself.
That sounds like a good owner.
He was a nice guy.
Sounded like a level-headed individual.
Yep. So that's my car wash
I
story.
thought you were going to
wasn't
say
with
you shot your way out.
That would have been a better story.
And that was the first time I shot my way out of a car
That
wash.
was the first time I committed a felony.
Chapter 66. Go fishing with a potato.
What do you think they're fishing for?
I don't know, but that horizon
Friendship.
sure has a curve to it.
It's a small Earth, Steve.
Chapter 67. Go trick-or-treating as each other with a potato.
I think this might be the funniest one in the book. I'm just going to say that.
The picture's solid.
It's pretty hilarious.
Do you think he carved out the potato's friend to wear?
He murdered his friend.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're actually wearing each other.
Yeah.
Chapter 68. Introduce a potato to some new friends, like some carrots or onions.
You know, I had a couple carrots and onions today.
Yeah?
About an hour and
As
a half
friends?
ago. Plant a flower with a potato.
They planted a flower, but they're really growing their friendship.
That flower will symbolize their friendship for its long, long flower existence. Hippie stuff.
Chapter 70. Spot weld with a potato.
That's the worst welder I've ever seen.
This is a solid photo. Drawing. Picture.
That was a solid sentence.
I'm throwing props out to Danny on this one. That's a wicked looking the shading and stuff here on the on the weld is solid. I mean, how else are you going to portray someone welding?
What
Yeah.
technique did you use to make his legs invisible? I want to know that technique.
And what is he welding? It's just exploding and like.
What art school?
One question at a time for Danny. You're overwhelming him.
I simply did not want to draw the legs.
That's my favorite technique. That is my favorite.
Be careful with this page, everyone, because if you stare at it too long, you'll damage your retinas.
I'll
you'll
get
go-
welder's eye.
You'll go blind.
It's a lot like looking at the sun.
You ever have gravel poured into your eye socket?
Chapter 71. Present your opening argument in court with a potato.
This is obviously from the judge's perspective.
So since we've established that we have a hammer gun, do you think there's a gavel gun?
There could be. Josh, what are you thinking over there? I feel like because we're not looking at each other, we're not really getting you in on this.
Maybe I'll turn around.
Yeah, maybe
Ah,
don't
shoot.
do that.
Yeah, don't do
though.
that.
Yeah, Josh,
No.
Josh
you're-
just turned around.
You're fine. You're doing a good amount.
I keep thinking of the Bob and Doug McKenzie bit where they're like, maybe we are nude and you don't even know it.
And you don't even know, eh?
You wouldn't even know, eh? Me and my brother are here.
Oh, just picture
Here,
that.
picture
Picture
that.
hose head over there.
He's really built, eh?
Chapter 72. Refurbish antique furniture with a potato.
What's the definition of a chapter? Can we call them chapters even though they're one page?
Yes, we can do whatever we want. We're authors.
Sweet.
Amelia Earhart.
She was an artist. Use the a plain artist. Use the carpool lane with a potato. And what do you think when you first hear that, Steve?
I would think in my just simple brain that we're going in a car as friends down a normal road in a normal car and a normal day of work.
Right, but what we here are going to do to this,
Because we're creative
creativity is
and we're
key.
artists.
Yeah, it's like a hot tub on wheels, and
Carpool,
our two friends are in this pool. It's a play on words there.
Yep. The artist really took some liberty in their expression on this one.
Danny. What's that? Oh, that's the carpool lane signal. I
Chapter
spent the whole
74.
time-
Play Jenga with a potato.
That was
How you gonna do that
first
when the
base.
potato doesn't even have arms?
Chapter 75. Cook a pot roast with a potato.
And what are you thinking here?
I'm
First time
thinking
you hear this.
pot roast with a potato in it.
I mean, you're thinking drugs right away.
I'm thinking, right? Thinking of Breaking Bad.
I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
But here
Right
at
away.
Summertime Dropouts,
We're clean.
We keep it clean, we keep
classy.
it fun, we keep it fresh.
High fives.
High
High
fives.
fives, friendship time.
A lot of gold stars being passed around.
A
Hugs.
lot.
Everybody's a winner.
Good
Kisses.
dental hygiene.
The book was actually written by the potato.
It's an autobiography.
We're really going to break this potato. This is going to be his big break.
Yep.
This is
He's
gonna
going
be
big.
What
Yeah.
sends him to the top.
Who
He's
better
going
to
big.
write a list of activities to do with a potato than a potato himself? He knows his desires.
Chapter 76. Do the mashed potato with a potato.
Our human character here looks surprised.
He just blew out both knees. Blew them right out.
Blew out both knees and broke both ankles.
He's
In one
actually
shot.
slipping into shock in this picture.
He's in an unbelievable amount of pain. Not only that, but he has no fingers.
The all blood has run from his face, as you can see how white he is.
That was
Whoa.
the page turn button.
Chapter 77. Write a 100 things to do with a potato list with a potato.
See, as we spoke about earlier, the
No
potato
arms.
itself is part of writing
The
this book.
potato writes itself.
I would guess that the potato threw out most of the suggestions here.
Chapter 78. Laugh about the difference between potato and potato with a potato.
Oh, I couldn't even figure out how you knew how to read that, Danny. But after I was thinking, geez, you are on top of this.
I
You
would say
remember
it-
the thought, but the picture explains it.
Deny
Danny's a
doctor.
genius.
Potato.
Of course it says
Potato.
potato.
Chapter 79. Preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Rub the potatoes with olive oil. Sprinkle them with salt and pepper. Prick it with the tines of a fork. Cook the potatoes for 45 to 60 minutes with a potato.
Is that a dial on the oven or a lump coming out of his head?
Oh man, enhance.
Is
Josh,
that our-
can we get a good
could be-
enhancement
Is
on
that
that
our
for our
first
viewers at home?
stalactite?
It's a pimple. It's a boil.
I think
Yeah.
someone
Someone's going through puberty.
erased this.
Look at that. It's gone. That's his head.
The oven is at 425, though.
For those
once
of
you
you
take
at
a closer
home,
look.
I really wish you could smell this.
It smells so good.
Oh,
The
yeah.
smell of the potato
Oh, I thought you
cooking in
meant
the book.
thought you meant the Chinese buffet.
No.
The smell alone is worth the trip.
Chapter 80. Change a flat tire with a potato.
I'm gonna
Work ethic.
send this one out to my good friend Paul Olson,
Yep.
who I know is going to listen to this.
Yep.
I mean, at
He
the,
needs a
at
good
the
potato
chance,
in his life.
He's
chance
the
anyone
only one
makes
who
it
would
this
make
far.
it to chapter 80. Is
Paul's
Paul
going to be
Olson.
one of the 4 or 5 of you that make it this far. We like to give Paul a hard time. He rode around on like 5 different donuts for his car. Shave your head because you ran out of shampoo with a potato.
This one was also inspired by our friend Paul.
Our former roommate, Paul.
Slew mate.
Slewmate. We call our house the Slew. So we have slewmates, not roommates.
The Sludio. It's where we do most of our
Most of
recording.
our recording. And we do most of our cooking in the slitchen. And we hang out in the sliving room.
Or the bath sloom.
The bathroom. Just put an SL there.
Sl bathroom.
Really rolls off the tongue. Mm-hmm. What's Potato putting on his hand? Lotion?
No, he's out of their.
He actually has a prescription pill problem.
A liquid prescription pill?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
It's Preparation H.
That might be a good sample of me that we can use later.
For his
lotion?
For his potato
Lotion?
hemorrhoids.
You can maybe save that and then just dump that in later on. And when in the middle of something, you can just cue me up saying, lotion?
Yeah, can we get that as a sample?
Chapter 82. Invent instant potatoes with a potato.
They're off to a bad start.
Where's Jesse?
No, we're actually looking for Walter in this one, Walter White. He's the guy that knows what's up. Anyway,
Again, this
I don't
potato
watch
refuses to use eye protection correctly. Not
You're
wearing
right.
his goggles, and he wasn't wearing his sunglasses.
no
at the
sunglasses,
beach.
no goggles.
He's
Although
got all-
Demarius is wearing his eye protection, so that's good.
He's got all sorts of eyes. He's a potato. Or he can just grow
He can
new
grow
ones.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or get googly eyes from Demarius.
Yeah, he's not worried about it. Scratch with a potato. Now, Steve, when you hear this, what would you think first?
When you first heard this sentence come into your ear canals?
For me, I would be thinking that I had an itch in
Yeah.
my underarm
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
and then I itched at
Yeah,
it, or
with
on
a
my
potato.
beard. My beard itched, so I
with a
scratched
potato.
it.
But what does the picture indicate?
They're DJs.
They're DJs!
Both of them.
With dinner
Whoa,
plates.
whoa, whoa! I was just gonna say, if we can enhance this,
Yep,
they're using
enhance.
dinner plates and
peas.
M&Ms.
Do you think those are Beats headphones?
Cheapers, I hope so.
Whoa,
What
whoa.
else would
The
you
potato
use?
This is the
has-
off-brand.
The potato's headphones are just cranked on his head. They're leaving indents onto the sides of his head right now.
Again, refuses to wear eye protection.
Devon Erickson would be so upset.
My dad's an eye doctor. They're obviously wireless headphones.
Maybe their ears are just really cold. We don't know that they're headphones.
Yeah, why would you be wearing headphones when you're just scratching with dinner plates?
Yeah, it doesn't make. It's actually hearing protection.
Yeah.
So they don't hear the awful noises
Oh,
of
that's the
scratching on dinner
worst.
plates.
The worst.
Play me out, Danny. Danny is really good at the banjo.
What's the tuning like on a banjo?
It's
compared to a
open G.
guitar?
You guys ever been to the
Open G.
Appalachian Mountains?
Yeah, I actually play banjo, believe it or not.
Chapter 84. File your nails with a potato.
Now, what were you thinking, Josh, when you
Josh.
first read this?
What popped into your
What
head?
were you- what's going on in there?
Potato!
You're reading.
I
what?
was totally thinking I was going to be filing my fingernails.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right where I went to.
That's
I went
where
right there.
my train of thought was chugging into the station.
First place I went to.
First place.
And then what's it really doing, Joe?
Neatly organizing in filing cabinets his nails. We have a reemergence of the hammer,
He is
Yeah.
dumping.
which was also my nickname in high school.
Because
The
of his
hammer.
MC skills. Read it!
Joe. Oh, I was confused. I was more entranced by the photo. Join a Civil War reenactment with a potato. Reminds me a little bit of muzzle loading that I did this
Oh, yeah.
couple weekends ago.
Potato guns were invented during the Civil War
Little known fact.
to
think-
fight off the British.
You think you
ever
could kill a
watch the
deer with a
History
potato
Channel?
gun?
I think you could. I think you could fire a hole right through that little thing's chest.
I feel like you'd want a pretty fresh potato if you were going to try to kill a deer with a
Well,
potato
or a
maybe
gun.
frozen
freeze it.
one.
Could
Frozen.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
I feel like the heat from the powder's going to melt some
And
of
just-
that. Or just explode
The
it.
heat
blast
from my
it into shreds.
skepticism is going to melt this story.
Chapter 86. Go back in time to 1999 with a potato.
It's Danny. Little baby Danny in 99.
Little baby Danny.
Little baby
Growing
Danny.
underground. That was when he was still a potato.
Yep.
I get it. Crack the Da Vinci Code with a potato. Now, Steve,
Now, Dave.
when you hear that,
When I hear crack
What
the
would-
Da Vinci Code
what the first
with a
image,
potato,
what pops
I'll tell
into
you
your
what the
dome?
first image I had pop up into my mind was. I was thinking, we're going to read this Da Vinci Code and we're going to crack its true meaning together. But what is it in the picture?
Crack in the
He's
meaning of-
cracking the book physically in his
half.
hands,
You
like
thought-
Magnus Magnuson ripping a phone book in half.
the most Swedish man
Yes.
I've ever not known.
I'm going to beat him at next year's World's Strongest Man competition.
Chapter 88. Hit the two robbers who are breaking into your house in the face with paint cans with a potato.
This is great. This is Home Alone is the
One of my
immediate
favorite
reference
movies.
here.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Phenomenal movie, 1 and 2. When they brought in that other kid, it really went downhill.
The fact that both of those Home Alone movies were snubbed for Oscar nominations,
Garbage.
I
garbage.
will take that anger to my grave.
I think the third Home Alone movie really kind of rubbed me the wrong way because there was such an emphasis on technology.
Yeah, we shouldn't even be addressing it in the same sentence as the first two Home
No,
Alone
I
movies.
apologize for what I did there,
Yeah.
and I won't do it again.
Yeah.
Home Alone should only be enjoyed on VHS.
Chapter 89. Get the snakes off the plane with a potato.
One of my favorite Samuel
Favorite.
Jackson moments.
Favorite.
When
happens
Morgan
in that
Freeman
movie.
encouraged everyone to get those planes
When
off those
Lawrence
snakes.
Fishburne.
joke
Now, what
here.
I really want to get into is the narrative of the story here. What do you think this is really pointing to when we read beneath the words and try to find a deeper meaning of what it is
Well, I
to
think-
get the snakes off?
Thanks
the
for
plane?
asking. Thanks for asking that, Steve. I think
Steve, that
my
hit
first thought. I think my first thought as an educated individual,
Dropped out of college twice.
Edumacated.
right, is that there's something to do with the wind and how fast they're traveling. They're traveling quite quickly, probably 500 to 600 miles an hour, but they're completely outside of the plane. So I think that's one of the key things here that we
They,
need to
they
analyze.
depressurized.
That'd tear your
The
face
cabin.
right off.
Yeah. Maybe they're running from something.
They
Why
might
do
be-
they need to fly that fast?
Why did they need? Yeah, maybe they're. You sound like a therapist. Just fishing. A therapist just fishing. Oh, that might mean, are you running? Are you running for something? Are you running?
I have an intro to counseling class this semester, so
Find your max bench with a potato spotting.
now when you first heard that sentence, Dave, what did you think the person would be bench pressing?
Immediately, probably lead or iron weights.
Yeah.
Lead weights. Where have you ever lifted lead weights?
Where, with my lead, where my lead paint cans and my asbestos stash. I keep them in the garage.
The bar is made out of anthrax.
I'm hoping for cancer before 30.
Vocabulary.
It sounded like a
Vocal abilities.
I think Josh had something to say when he opened his mouth a minute ago. I thought it was someone vomiting.
I don't know,
But I
he's-
think it's
There's
just he
him
had-
breathing.
It's a
What-
common misconception.
What were you
Josh,
gonna
if you
say,
threw
Josh?
up, I'm gonna
I
throw
wanted
up.
to point out that the potato now has fully functioning arms with elbows, but his legs, he needs to
Yeah.
work his legs out a little more.
He's got a good prison body.
He's got
He's the
that
gym
guy-
teacher
that
that
guy
only
at the
lifts
gym.
arms every day.
he has all the glamour muscles just on lock, but
He's never
You
done
can
a
beat him
squat
in
in
a
his
foot
life.
race. Indian leg wrestle. Every day of the week, you whoop that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Chapter 91. Peel some sweet potatoes with a potato.
Not even one feeling of remorse.
I think they're using butter knives just to make it worse.
Yep.
Rusty butter knives made of lead
And MRSA.
that they found in Dave's basement.
And
asbestos.
depravity.
Put on freshman 15 with a potato. Now this is funny.
Or freshman 30 if you're Steve.
Got a couple chubsters here.
Chubby potato.
They've
Also my nickname in high
if the
school.
potato wasn't overweight before,
It is
it
now.
is now.
Steve, how was college for you your first year?
A lot of buffets and not a lot of exercise. It was great.
Chapter 93. Trick your kid brother into eating dog food with a potato.
Now this is funny.
I was that kid brother.
Were you?
I remember,
I
Dave,
definitely was that kid brother.
I remember when you first came up with this concept, and I laughed a hearty laugh.
I'm proud of this one, and I'm proud of my really specific baking details one. Those are my two shining stars.
And the artist brought the Michael Jordan tongue back into play, and I'm really pumped about that.
Chapter 94. Go visit your grandma with a potato.
This is cute.
That grandma's head is enormous.
freakish.
Her head is about the size of the whole potato.
But do we know if it's the potato's grandma or the boy's grandma?
Ooh.
Maybe they're brothers, the potato and the boy, and
I'm seeing the similarities in this picture.
I think maybe they live in a world.
Where authors write books with more words than pictures, as the intro to this book might suggest.
Yes, maybe in a world where there's reproductive capabilities across species.
the technology is close.
We're getting there.
Hit that sound again. Today on the Discovery Channel, we explore a new world. A world much different than ours and the one we know.
It blinded me with science.
What's that? The old Twilight Zone intro?
Yep, there you go.
A world where the mind of a man can be blown at any minute.
He said the way he says the word mind is like the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Mind.
Name a potato, Amy, fall in love, and write it a song.
Dave, who is this like?
Well, this is like my wife.
Oh, that's so friggin' cute.
Yeah, I wrote her a
Frig.
song. I wrote her a song when she was just my girlfriend. And then now we're married, and she's
That's
got
gross.
a song named after her.
Dave, is your wife a potato?
Yeah.
Chapter 96. Read a book, see the movie, and discuss which one was better with a potato and Brett.
This one goes out to our good friend Brett.
Our stepbrother.
Brett goes by Brett, Bernie, Burntney, Brentney, Burnt, Bart,
Night pants.
Night Pants, Coke Pants. No, that's Paul Olsen.
That's Paul.
Shoot.
That's Paul.
Sorry, Paul.
I think Brett has done more to feed us than any of our parents combined.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Brett, I get excited when Brett's going to come over because that usually means 2 or 3 large Papa Murphys. And I get excited when Brett comes with to fill in on guitar occasionally because that usually means a 6-pack of energy drinks and a full box of donuts.
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, or more like 4 a.m. sometimes.
My doctor told me to stop hanging out with Brett. They threatened that they'd have to take my right leg if I kept doing that.
Brett, I'm going to go ahead and give Brett credit for at least half of the future heart attack I'll probably have.
Sometimes when I'm done hanging out with Brett, it feels like I got bit by that radioactive spider in Spider-Man.
Chapter 97.
Tingly.
Check out some steamy hot sweet corn with a potato.
Now, Steve,
No.
when you first heard this,
No.
what were you thinking?
I was thinking we were going to go someplace adult rated, not acceptable for children, but you know where we went with it? We kept it above the
It's a
belt.
grocery store.
We kept it clean. We kept it fresh.
It's just hot sweet corn temperature wise.
Yeah, that's all it really meant.
It's
the
going
whole
to be
time, that's
steamy
what it
because
meant.
that's what corn
Yeah.
is
Once you
like.
microwave it.
Chapter 98. Stay hydrated with a potato.
Do you think they're in their car still? In the carpool lane?
I don't know. This looks a little bigger.
Yeah.
Well, no, they're not in the car because they're obviously drinking alcohol. I think here.
Oh, yeah. We don't condone drinking
No.
and driving at summertime dropouts.
The
No,
potato.
so they're
the
not
potato,
driving.
The
Yeah.
potato's drinking what appears to be some kind of margarita or something like that.
I think you're right. I think it's the glass and the umbrella that
yeah.
screams
That's how you know it's
margarita.
alcohol. I don't drink anything with an umbrella on it because I know it's alcohol.
Chapter 99. Do an interview with Brian Stars and a potato.
So this is the subject of the potato book contest, where everyone is drawing pictures or they're coloring in this page, or some people are just drawing their own pictures too, which is kind of funny. We're doing this contest where you can win a free guitar, a guitar that I played on stage a couple of times.
That Brett bought.
It's pink. Brett bought that guitar. We're giving it away. It's a pink guitar, and you can draw a picture of this, and if you win, you get that guitar. Let's talk about Brian Stars. Remember when we went and saw him? He was a good dude.
Good dude in Nebraska.
He totally
Nebraskans.
pulled he forgot his wallet on us.
Yeah, Brian Stars, calling you out. Yeah, Brian invited us to, we did our interview, and then he was like, oh, hey, should we go grab some food somewhere? And we're like, yeah, totally, that'd be fun. It'd be fun to just hang out and talk. Where did we go again? Was it Old Chicago? Or
Yep.
I think we went to an Old Chicago, and we were driving a 1997 horrible Honda Civic
Named.
named Civica Fox.
Yep.
It was Steve's car first until Steve bought a new truck, and then now it's Josh's car. Josh bought it from him. But anyway, we showed up to that in that car, and then Brian showed up in his wicked cool. What was it, a Mustang or?
Yep.
Yeah, nice,
Like brand new.
nice brand new Mustang, and then he pulls the wallet card on us. That's where I was going with that. If I was trailing off,
Yeah, you were. I lost you.
I was getting distant. Yeah, forgot his wallet. He
Get back
says.
around.
And we bought him a knife.
Yeah, with a loon on it.
Should have stabbed him with it.
We should have asked for the knife back.
We're holding on to this as collateral.
Number 100. Danny, let's read it together.
Let's all read it.
Let's all read it. There we go.
right.
1, 2, 3. Pin it with a potato.
Tomato.
Joe.
Joe.
We should have colored. The only thing we should have put in color is this 4-wheeler should have been red. Honda.
Or like
No, like
teal,
nasty teal, purple.
neon yellow.
Just a solid 90s color.
Yep. Something you would see on a starter jacket.
Remember those windbreakers that are like
Too,
purple
I
and
remember
teal?
those windbreakers that are purple and teal.
I mean, why am I asking you? You're the guy in the room wearing a headband.
For viewers at home that obviously are viewing this live, Steve is wearing a headband.
We should have streamed this.
Then we'd all have to wear pants if we were going to Ustream it.
Right,
so.
yeah. Pinning it with a potato. This is our new thing that we've been spreading across the country. It's along the lines of if you go to like a metal show, people do like the motorcycle handlebar.
Are
like,
you gesturing, Dave? No one can see you.
it's helping me think. I'm trying to think how to describe this.
You look stupid.
Twist of the wrist.
It's like a twist of the wrist, like revving up a motorcycle, but because we grew up on 4-wheelers and snowmobiles, we do the same thing.
snow machines.
Don't ever call it that again.
Snow machine.
Snow
No,
machine.
you start. Hop on your snow machine.
Yeah, just get out there.
It's one of those Polaris snow machines.
Drive it all the way to
Arctic
Russia.
Cat.
To Russia.
Yeah.
It'd be a long haul.
Bring an
Sarah.
extra gas tank.
Not a can, a tank.
Nope, tank. You're going to need it.
Just toss the old one. Disposable. Anyway, this pinning it thing is you just, instead of doing the stupid motorcycle thing at a show or something,
You do something even more stupid.
you put your hand up and just use your thumb like you would be accelerating on a snowmobile or a 4-wheeler.
Because that's what we're about.
It's really catching on.
As you can tell, it's in a book.
It's in a book now, so
We're working on President Obama ending all of his speeches with pinning it. We're still...
His publicist.
He
is
hasn't
still
gotten
getting
back to us, yeah.
Still chipping away at it.
neither has the potato companies we've contacted looking for sponsorship of this book.
9 out of
Thousands.
10 people tell us they're getting restraining orders and never contact them again. But that 1 person out of 10 still never gets back to us.
We have
There's hope. There's
one of the best records for a band of number of restraining orders filed against us.
We're running deep.
And I only count the ones that are official, not the open
Yeah.
cases.
We're doing better than Guar. Did you know that?
Oh wow!
Yeah. Would
think
not
they-
have guessed that.
I think the alien blood makes people take them a shade less seriously.
Yeah. Maybe we
thanks.
should start working that into the show.
Maybe we'll have less restraining orders then.
Maybe.
Well, thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this.
I hope your brain is still somewhat coherent and not mush.
Nice work on the piano, Danny. You've been practicing. Play us out.
You look real nice today, by the way.
Nice talks.